Yeah, well, tell us about your concert life. How did it start?
Well, I started my concerts when I was 9 years old, and I actually started doing the concerts because I had stage fright. And one of the ways that my parents thought I could overcome that was naturally to just perform more.
Yes.
So they arranged home concerts, Sunday home concerts, where I would, prepare repertoire and I would practice for it, and then I would perform for like all our close family and friends. And yeah, that's how, the concerts actually started, until a year later when, I decided that, I think I've done a lot of preparing. I think my stage fright is, going away. How about we have like a big, the concerts, but on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
And that's when we actually had the first installment of Neo Motsatse, the concert, 2010. So I was 10 years old when I started the Neo Motsatse concert series, and that concert I actually had at the Johannesburg Country Club.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So what exactly goes into preparing for one?
A lot. I'm not gonna. A lot goes into preparing for a concert. If I have to say the most important things, I think for me, all of my concerts were themed. So if you're preparing to have a concert, I think it would be advisable to get a theme, because then that way you can get the repertoire, which is next. So you get the theme and then the repertoire to fit that theme. And then also the duration of what you want your concert to be. My concerts were about an hour. Most of my concerts range to about an hour. So obviously the pieces then need to fit that, the duration, which is whatever you want it to be, really. And then after that, I would say if you don't have the pieces already, or you need to get pieces arranged, that would be the next step after picking the repertoire. For a few of my previous concerts, for example, I got my pieces arranged by JP Arthur. So that would be the next step in terms of, getting the pieces arranged. If you can't do it yourself, then get someone else to do it. And then once you get the pieces arranged, then you will know what type of instruments you'll need. So does it need drums? Does it need piano? Does it need a quartet? Does it need string? Does it need, 8 strings? Does it need a whole orchestra? Determining, the type of instruments that you need is also, important after getting the arrangements of the pieces. And then we get to the date. So picking the date of your concert, that will be important when you're picking the venue, because of course when you get the venue, you have to give them a date and time to check if they're available and things like that. So get a date that works for you, the time that you need to prepare, which season you want to have it in and all that stuff. So yes, we have the date, we have the venue. With the venue, you must make sure that it's the right size for your concert. So the audience that you want to have. I know with me, when the first concert I had 150 people at my concert. So the room that we had at the Johannesburg Country Club was perfect for that. And then with each concert, the audience size increased. So obviously with that, we had to get a venue that fit the audience size, as well as the musicians. Like I said, you need like orchestra or string quartet. The size of the stage matters as well when picking a venue. And then finally you can get your musicians and conductor. Some of my concerts had a conductor, some of them didn't. It really just depends on the type of pieces that you have and what you want for the concert. And then once you get them, then you can schedule rehearsals. In my experience, I only really needed 3 rehearsal dates before a concert, and that's pretty much the standard. But then of course if you're having like a bigger production or more concerts, then you would need more rehearsal dates. But previously I would just have 3, and that was pretty much okay for the concerts. And then we go on to image. So, how you're presenting yourself on stage and all that. So for me, getting a dress was very important. Mostly I would get two dresses because I would always have two parts to my program.
Okay.
For the most part, it would be like, a classical section focusing on classical music, and then we have the South African music, we have the modern and all that. So I'd have like two different dresses. So get your dresses or outfits, whatever you need. And also, a makeup artist, if you're going to need a makeup artist, that's also very important. And then now is to, figuring out all the other people that you're going to need that maybe you won't be able to do yourself. So for example, catering. Is your concert catered for? Are you doing the food yourself? If it's a big concert, get a caterer. It's just easier. And also decorations. What type of decorations will you need? Maybe you can also get someone else to help you with that as well, if you don't want to concentrate on doing everything. And then if you would like to remember your concert, then you need like a photographer and possibly a videographer if that's something that you would want. I didn't use a videographer on all of my concerts, but some of them I did. So it's not necessary for all of them, but again, it's what you want. So a photographer, a videographer, and then we go into marketing. So doing all of these preparations and doing all of these things for a concert is wonderful, but it means nothing if you don't have an audience.
Definitely.
So you need to market your concert, and part of that is also, if you're not able, is to get a graphic designer. If you're not able to do, some of the things that you might need yourself. For example, for my concerts, I would have a program, I would have a poster, and some of we can't do like that ourselves. So we would get a graphic designer. So if you're not able to design those things yourself, it is advisable to get a graphic designer to help you with that, so that you can market your concert, because that is so very important when planning a concert.
Whoa.
It's a lot of information, and it's a lot of work. Like all
it
of
does
that.
Sound like it. Yes, definitely.
But it makes a successful concert. So
True.
that's just to keep in mind, all those little details when preparing for a concert, because it really isn't easy. And yeah.
So what would you say you prefer between performing in your own concert and being invited to other festivals?
Ooh, that's a tricky question. Look, I think both of them have their benefits. For me, my own concerts, I like the freedom that we have. I like the fact that literally every single decision is made by us. Anything that we want to do is made by us. We can do it. And yeah, I'm just free to do whatever I want, play whatever I want, and I really enjoy that. And then with the going to other people's gigs or events or festivals, I think financially it is quicker and better, in the sense that when someone asks you to perform, you asked and then you just go play. So it just happens like right then and there. It's not this long planning that you need to do for like months or like weeks on end. You just go repertoire and then go play, and then you get paid. That's the end of it. So in terms of like financially, and also just like the time and duration of everything, that one is better. Because also with concerts, the financial burden is pretty large, and there are instances where we will spend on everything that I had previously mentioned, like everything. And, even with selling tickets, what we get back in return is not what was put into the concert. So that's also something you have to be mindful of when preparing your own concert from start to finish, is that sometimes, it will be a beautiful concert, everything will be beautiful, but you might not get, back everything that you put into it. So picking a favorite is difficult, because I do love my concerts, and it's something that I will forever do regardless of the financial burden or anything else. But as a performing artist, I also really like performing for other people as well.
Out of all of your concerts, which would you say was the most memorable for you?
Oh, well, that's actually a tough question, because I've had so many concerts, and honestly all of them were just amazing. So I think I'm gonna pick two. I think the highlight was when I was celebrating 5 years of Neo Motsatse the concert, we decided to do a 5-city tour. So I performed in Cape Town, East London, Port Elizabeth, Johannesburg, of course, and in Bloemfontein. And I think out of those, obviously just having a tour was incredible. Like that was the first time I've done like concerts like that in succession like that. So it was really, really great to perform also in cities that I've never performed before, such as Cape Town and Bloemfontein. And I think the highlight of those cities is actually Bloemfontein, because I specifically remember me just playing just my best there. Like it really was one of those performances, like when I was done I was like, wow. Like, I did the things. But also I fell in the beginning of the concert. As I was walking on stage, my dress was long, so I fell and I fell backwards. Yeah, what's weird is that I fell backwards, not forward, so I fell back.
Whoa.
And luckily the violin was fine.
Okay,
that's like everyone was like the violin, I'm like me.
Priorities.
But luckily I was still able to go on with the concert. Everything was great, everything was beautiful, and it really was just for me, it was just a highlight concert. So the most memorable concert I would have to say was when I performed at the Linda Auditorium. This is such a beautiful place to perform, and I was just so excited that at my age I was actually able to perform at the Linda Auditorium. It takes, I think, about 1,500 people, and I was able to get 600 or 700 people to come to the concert. So I think it was my biggest audience up until that point, which was very exciting, very nerve-wracking, but very exciting for me. Also, I think it was a tough time in terms of my health. I was actually very sick during that time. To be like, even beforehand, when there were rehearsals going on, I actually only participated in one of our rehearsals because the other 2 rehearsals I was too sick to play. And so it was just this thing of, will I be able to do this? Like, will I be able to pull it off? Like, I only had one real rehearsal where I was playing. I was present for the rehearsal, but I wasn't playing. Like, I was, I was just there, like, guiding and whatever. So it was just that moment of, will this happen? Will this be able to happen? But I did it. I did it. I got through it. And it was just that moment of, okay, we got this, we could do it. I think also what made it memorable is the sponsors that we had. We had 2 very powerful woman-empowered businesses, which was Whiphold and Zanenza. They sponsored the concert, which was absolutely amazing, which I'm so grateful for. And also it was a concert that I actually mixed with an award ceremony. So we had an award ceremony for, I think, about 30 girls, where we were awarding them for, work well done, for work that they did during the year. So it was also, mixed in with that. So there was just a lot of beautiful things about that concert that just made it so very memorable. And also the fact that I was able to overcome the hurdles of being sick and having to, perform. So yeah, that's my most memorable.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing so much information. I hope you guys learned something, because that was a lot. And please do subscribe to our channel right down below, and follow us on Instagram, Motsatse_music. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
See you next time.